Kanan messing with Nick's brother, but you don't know what the work is.
He is changing up, Rock. He ain't the same.
Kanan says you talk a lot.
Your stupid little brother went to scrap Mom's house, and then she came to the precinct.
Your brother need to make this shit right.
I'm on.
Enemies are dangerous, especially when they're family.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Omar and we are locked in. This is the recap for episode 7 of season 3, Raising Kanan. And the series is going exactly where we wanted to go. Rock is actually putting herself back into the game. Ronnie has expanded his business and brought Kanan up under his wing. And Lulu, well, he's out here trying to fix the problems that he caused in episode 6. Now, before we jump into this and we break down this and give the whole recap, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, after show discussions, then hit your subscribe button and turn your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm on that road to 50,000 subscribers. So if you don't see this video at 100 likes, hit that like button. Now the Thomas family, they are in disarray. But one thing Rock is going to do is clean this whole thing up, even if she means sending her brother Marvin out to handle her business. So let's jump into it. This is the recap of episode 7, Raising Kanan, season 3. Ronnie has been looking out for Kanan, and at the beginning of the episode, we see him pull up on Paul, punch him, and bring him over to the apartment. Now, the reason he did this is because Paul threatened Kanan by calling the police. Famous ends up walking in. He's only here to take the rest of his clothes and end up leaving. Now, he does grab a gun, but before he leaves, Ronnie is asking him all types of questions. What are you doing here? Where are you going with that bag? You don't like staying here? Famous is scared. But Kanan sees that Ronnie is a little too aggressive, and after what he did to Paul, he steps in and tells Ronnie, don't worry about Famous. He doesn't say much, and if he does, I'll handle the situation. Rock went over to see Quan, because remember, Stefano gave her permission to fill in where Unique, he had his shortcomings. When she goes over there, Quan is letting her know, I really don't want to do business with you because the Chinese restaurants weren't working. But we know that Raquel, she knows her way around the streets, and she tells him, listen, if you got the product, I'll get the ball players and we'll get this thing up and rolling. And she'll be able to make more money than whatever Unique was promising her before he ended up missing. Now, Quan hears this and he can't turn down an opportunity because he does have to move some work. So he accepts this and gives her 2 months to take care of all the business she needs to and start bringing in a profit. Detective Howard is still trying to get information and he finds out about Marvin. Well, they don't have much on him in narcotics, but they do know about Marvin. And in comes Scrap's mom. If you remember, Scrap's mom is actually the snitch. When Howard sees this, he wants to know what exactly is going on because Scrap is missing. Now, when he goes into the room, he tells the other officer to go talk to the feds. And it turns out Scrap's mom is confessing that Lou came over to her house drunk and confessed to the murder of her son Scrap by the hands of Raquel. Now, Howard, he hears this, but he has to cover it up because he knows all of this will trace back to him for giving the false information about Scrap being a snitch. Our girl Juke and Bada, well, they just got the call that they've been waiting on. They're going to be opening up for a big time artist at the local mall. Now they got to take these photos, and what we're seeing is the girls are still fighting for that #1 spot because their manager just told them, you guys got to fight with the camera and let the camera pick who's going to be that #1. So we're starting to see some traction in the girl group Bada, but we know that they're going to already be colliding with each other even more because what we've seen in previous episodes. Marvin goes to Gerald's house and we see he's back on that stuff. Marvin actually saves his kids. Now he came over here to talk to Gerald about his daughter Jukebox and writing up an article. But we get a backstory about Gerald and everything that he has going on. His ex-wife is actually the one that put him on the drugs and has him strung out like this. Him and Marvin have been building a close relationship, and Marvin, he sees it in his best interest to look out for Gerald and those little girls because he's had a change of heart and became a better father as the seasons progressed in Raising Kanan. Juke is still thinking about joining the army. Now she's hesitant, but she really wants to get out of the city because if this music stuff doesn't work, then the only thing she has left is to get the hell out of New York. Now when she goes up there and talks to the recruiter, she got a couple of opportunities. ASVAB was good. She got good scoring. She could be an engineer, but she's really not into being an engineer or dealing with people. Rock got word from Howard that Lulu went and talked to Scrap's mom. So she tells her brother Marvin, you need to get Lulu and straighten this out. Now what they're doing is going to the Chinese restaurant to try to establish a rapport with them since Unique is gone. Now, they don't want to do anything, but what they do for Rock is introduce her to their uncle. Now, the uncle owns 20 more Chinese restaurants around the city, and the first thing that pops in Rock's mind, the little light bulb. Let's expand the business. Now, she's thinking, you got 21 restaurants around the city. I'll put product in all of them. We'll start moving at larger quantities and make more money. Now, the uncle, he's listening to it, and he likes that extra money, so he's with it. And of course, we know Marvin is eating that number 37. Just when we thought Bada was about to get together and do the best performance of their life and get a record deal, we find out that Aisha, something is wrong with her and she's been throwing up a lot. Now, we know Kanan and Aisha have been talking, but we see Kanan and Crystal having a little conversation. Now, Kanan and Aisha, they head off to the movie theater. In Jukebox, she talks to Crystal and tells Crystal to stay away from Kanan because she likes Kanan with Aisha, even though she kind of jealous and likes Aisha herself. So we're starting to see more of a rift between the girls and Bada. And before Crystal leaves, after Juke told her to leave Kanan alone, she tells her F you and continues on about her day. Ronnie and Juliana have been getting close to each other. And I'm not talking about in the dope game, but I'm talking about on the couch game, if you follow what I'm saying. Well, Ronnie is in here stiff, pause, and Juliana just wants to please him, and why she gets pleased by him. But Pernessa shows up, and Ronnie tells her to get the hell out of the house. Now, Juliana is telling Ronnie, hey, you need to be careful because family members are dangerous, especially when they're beefing. Now, Ronnie is following Pernessa around and sees where her mom lives and lets her know you're the only thing Jerome has left, basically hinting at the fact that you don't want to do anything silly to get you harmed out here in these streets. Rock wants to know about Kanan and where he's at. Now, Jukebox is giving that information, and she knows that Kanan is acting a little differently. She tells him that he's running with Bonnie and Clyde, and Ronnie knows that running with Bonnie and Clyde, aka Snaps and Pops, is very lucrative. Well, Rock also knows Snaps and Pops, and she knows that they're OGs. So for her hearing this information about Kanan rolling with them and hanging with Ronnie, she wants to know the ins and out of whatever business they got. Now, Juke doesn't know that they're moving H, but this is making Rock very curious because we've seen her riding throughout the city, clocking all the Chinese restaurants to potentially expand her business in the dope game. Kanan is acting different. After they went to the movie theater, he made Aisha catch a train back home. Well, later that night, he gets a phone call, and that phone call is from Crystal. Kanan shows up to Crystal's house, and she's been feeling Kanan. She invites him on into the house. So I guess Aisha is a thing of the past, and this is definitely going to make Jukebox very upset when she sees that Kanan is messing with another member in the group. Marvin goes and grabs Lulu so he can make up for where he went wrong. Now they pull up over to Scrap's mom's house. Lulu is drinking again, and he says he doesn't remember going over here. Marvin has snatched him up and told him you need to do this. Marvin hands Lulu the gun. He goes over to Scrap's mama's door, knocks on it. Well, she got information from him once, so she trusted him coming back over here a second time. But when Lulu comes in the house this time, it isn't to talk. He starts crying and telling her he doesn't want to do this before he pulls the trigger. He kills Scrap's mom, just like his sister killed Scrap. And as he's pulling off, he looks in the window, and what does he see? The ghost of Scrap staring back at him. Lulu is gone in the game. All right, there you go, to recap for episode 7 of Raising Kanan. Let me know what you think about this. Was it smart for them to go over there and kill Scrap's mom? Now, no one knows that Scrap's mom knew who killed her son besides Detective Howard. Now, it was kind of a sloppy job, but you got to remember, this is the 90s, and you can get away with almost anything. And also, is Rock expanding the business in the Chinese restaurants a good thing or a bad thing for her? Let me know what you think. I'm MoDIJ. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on that road to 50,000 subscribers. I'm MoDIJ. Y'all the Moettes. Thanks for watching. I'm out.